So we have a problem. The apartment has water issues that seem to have led to some structural problems. It's going to cost a lot to fix. I'm going to go meet the builder right now. You're going to come with me, and we're going to discuss these problems. So I presented some. This is the second video. I've presented some costs to you last time. It looks like those costs will increase, at least the construction costs. I still think this is a great deal, as long as we can resolve these issues. So first of all, we chose this property because it's a fantastic location. It is a short walk to the metro. You can actually walk into the center of town, so really attractive to young professionals. It was quoted at around, we bought it for 140,000. It was actually quoted or valued at around 188,000 prior to renovation. Great deal in my view. And from playing around with Idealista, so a fantastic little platform, one of these episodes I'll show you how I use that as a tool. It looks like a renovated version of this property would attract around 240, 250,000 euros. So a great return on investment in terms of the purchase price of the property. And today's focus is actually on how we choose the property. So I'll show you a map of the area of Madrid and where our focal points are, the areas that are going through gentrification rather, the actual price and how I determine if it's a good price or not, and whether or not this will be a good property to buy. So this is our 10th property. All of the 10 have been properties that have been abandoned. So usually, a year or two. In some cases, we've had properties that have been abandoned for 20 years. We are trying our hardest to actually help resolve Madrid's housing crisis. You may have read in the media, quite a significant problem in Madrid in terms of housing supply. At least when we actually go visit the property today, we should have a better idea of the spaces that we can actually build out. We think it's ideal for, a 4-bedroom, 3 or 4 bathroom HMO with a centralized, eating and cooking and hanging out area for the tenants. This is what we've done in the 9 other apartments we have. Let's see if it's possible with this property today. So here we have it. All the walls have been knocked out that were there. So you can actually see the whole place is a lot bigger than we initially thought. Unfortunately, as you can see, where there used to be tiles, and I guess this is a learning for future, there's a lot of liquid and a lot of water and a lot of moisture, and we're going to have to fix that. So we're coming up with a couple of options. This is going to cost a lot. I don't know how much just yet, but we're going to trial these things here. There's like an injection silica gel thing that we've just gotten delivered. We're going to order a lot more if they seem to work. That's going to absorb the moisture, and you can actually see in a lot of these rooms. We didn't envisage this. I'm guessing $3,000 to $5,000 just for the extra work here. We're not sure when work can be started, and we're also struggling a little bit. We've planned on a centralized bathroom just here. It doesn't look like we can make that fit, given there's load-bearing walls. So I'm going to have to revise the plan. Probably 3 bathrooms and 4 bedrooms, but with a centralized kind of living area just here. But I'm not too sure yet. We're going to have to see how we go. Electricity's been turned off. We're not sure why. We're just contacting the electricity company now, so the workers can start. We've also got a generator that we used in a different project, so we might need to bring that in, and the workers can continue. But all in all, pretty good progress for 10 days. So these are the numbers that I presented last time, which essentially is the business case. I wanted to drill down on a couple of these numbers. So perhaps the biggest one is the property purchase itself. And just by the way, in the description below, I've put in a link to the first episode in this series. So far, it's just a series of 2. Feel free to click on it, and it'll talk a little bit about the importance of some of these numbers. The first
point here is the property itself was 140,000, as I mentioned last time. The key determining factors were the location of the property, the target areas that we believe are going to be very attractive to tenants and will also attract capital appreciation. I'll show you a map in a moment of our property portfolio, and also getting a good deal from agents. So probably don't have enough time to go into that and how we do that this episode, but in a future episode I'm going to talk about some of the, I guess, relationships that we've developed with agents. So here's a map of Madrid with the overlay of areas that we've actually purchased in. The first couple of properties that we got, I'll just use the mouse to point these out, are over in Casco Histórico de Vallecas. Fantastic connections. We'd spoken to different potential tenants who said that this was a fantastic spot for them, and it's a great little zone that really seems to have a bit of a vibe and a buzz about it. The next area that we're focused on, so we've got 4 properties in Getafe, all of them within a couple of 100 meters of the main university in Getafe, so in Universidad. Great capital appreciation. So we bought a couple of those properties at around the 70,000-80,000 euro mark, have renovated them and have actually had them independently valued at the 170,000 euro mark in 1 or 2 years. So fantastic capital appreciation there. We've got a property here in Carabanchel, so that was project 8. Really close to the centre, short walking distance, and again an area that's going through gentrification. A project in San Isidro in Vallecas, again nice spot, a modern project. In fact, it hasn't yet been rented out, we're just finalising that one, so I might take you there in a future episode. And then our final project 10 that we're focusing on as part of this case study is in Latina, short walk into the centre. Was a great deal overall, as I said, 140,000 euros to get an apartment that's close to the centre is quite phenomenal across any European capital city. It's really about understanding a couple of key areas that work in your capital city. I believe that there's often an uptick in rental returns per square metre, for example, prior to there being an increased amount of investors investing in those areas. So that's actually one of the ways we chose these areas. We looked in Idealista, which is present in Spain, Portugal, and Italy. It's a great site. There are others that are similar that operate in other European capitals. But it really has all the data you need to determine, what are the leading indicators. And in the example I just used, it is often, rental price income and an increase in rental price income that will dictate that there will be an increase in the value of the properties that you're purchasing. Thanks a lot for listening to this episode. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. I hope you found it informative and interesting. Like, follow and subscribe if you want to see the layout that we've got planned for the apartment itself. We're going to go through room by room what specifically we are going to do and how much each room will actually receive in terms of rental income. And of course, hopefully some good news around the water problem that we've had. The team have been working hard on it, and hope to give you some great news on that one.